Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're welcome. My name is Anita Handmade Creation, and if you're a old member, you're very welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you on how to draft and sew this side to rucher skirt. So if this is something you're wanting to make, keep on watching. First thing what I did was to go ahead and fold my pattern into two. Then I draw a straight line, which is going to be the guideline. Now I'm going to take now measure from the waist to the hip depth, which is 8 inch, from the waist to the length, which is 22 inch. You can make yours more longer than this if you want to. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw it up with a straight line. After doing so, what I'm going to do is to level it up, the waistline, the hip depth line, and the length. Now you're going to go ahead, take round waist and divide it by 4. Mine is 26, divide by 4 is going to give me 6.5. I'll come on the hip depth line. I'll take round the hip, which is 37, divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. I will go ahead, measure up whatever I have here, and I'm going to transfer it up at the downer part here. If you want it to look like a pencil, you can just go ahead and minus 2 inch from there, but this is not going to be a pencil part. Okay, so after doing so, you're going to go ahead and connect that point up, and you also connect this point up. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead now. I'll be using this pattern to cut up the back. So I'll first of all cut it. Go ahead now, use it to cut the back. After, when you are done cutting up the back, you're going to move that aside. Now the next thing we're going to do is to work on the front. You go ahead, take the nipple to nipple divided by 2. Whatever you have, you're going to mark that up. Mine is 7 divided by 2 is going to give me 3.5. I'm going to go ahead and mark that up, and I'm going to connect it up with a straight line. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to mark where my slip is going to start from. That's the opening where you want it to start from. So I'm just going to go down. You can go down by 7 inch, you can go down by 8 inch, depends on you. So I'll just go ahead and connect it up like this. After doing so, what I'm going to do is I'll connect this other side as well. Next thing I'm going to do is to cut that up. Once I'm done cutting that up, I'm going to go ahead now. You can go ahead and use 2 inch. You can mark 2 inch. You can mark 1.5 inch, depending on you. Just mark the same thing to the other pattern as well. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead. I will draw a straight line, just like you can see me doing. Then after that, we're going to go ahead and slash that up. Number them up if you want to. I will slash them up. Then we're going to go now and spray it up on the fabric. The fabric I'm using for this pattern, it is very stretchy, so I'm not going to be using a zipper. But if you're not using a fabric that is stretchy, you have to add up your zipper allowance. I'm going to go ahead now and pin up my pattern on my fabric. You can go ahead and space it up by 1 inch each, depending on the how fuller you want the rucher to be at the front. Okay, you can do 2 inch depending also on your fabric. Okay, once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go ahead. I will just go ahead and cut that up. While I'm cutting that up, I have to add my 1/2 inch of sewing allowance, especially at this part here. I'll be adding 1 inch. Okay, then I'll do the same thing to the other side. Then I will cut the back too on 4. Remember, the back, we are not separating it because we'll not be adding any zipper to that. Then I also cut up my waistband. I cut my straps. All right, then the next thing we're going to do now is to remove the pattern from it. So we're going to start up with the front. You'll be joining up. You want to notch where the the ruchet is going to start from. The gather is going to end. Okay, you want to notch it out. Then you go ahead and pin that up. When we are done pinning that up, we'll go ahead and stitch that up by 1 inch. You just go ahead and stitch that part up. Make sure you join up the back, so we'll take it to the machine and we'll be stitching the whole thing together. So this is my strap, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold it into two, and I'm going to just stitch that up. And then for my waistband, I'll join it up here as well. Now I'm done with my straps, so I have flipped my straps around. Okay, I've flipped it to the right side, and then for the skirt, what I did was to stitch about 1 inch, as you can see. Now you can go ahead and use a hemming gum, but at this case, if you use a hemming gum, it may be too hard for you to pass up your band inside. Okay, so avoid using it up. So the extra strap that I cut before, okay, I'll just place it on it like this, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch that up. Make sure you stitch this up before at least joining the side seam, so that will be easier for you to do so. Then once you get to the this end here, we're going to be hemming that up with the hemming gum. Okay, just go ahead and hem the rest of the piece with the hemming gum. Fold this edge here, so that when you stitch, it should be neat, or you just overlock it if you have one at home. I'll go ahead now. I'm stitching at the right side, not the wrong side, okay? So that if I make any mistake, it should be at the wrong side. So I've just gone ahead and create my casing where my straps is going to be passing through. You can see it right there. I really make it too closer. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to join the other side of the skirt. After joining that up, now I'm going to go ahead and take a safety pin my straps to it, and I'm going to pass it all the way to the downer part and do the same thing. And I'm sorry if the fabric I'm working on you cannot really see, but just follow up this process. Your project is going to come up very good. I'm going to go ahead now and add my waistband to my skirt. I'm just notching the four side of my waistband. I will join it up. Okay, remember I said my fabric is very stretchy. I am not using any zipper. I'm not be adding any zipper to this skirt. Okay, if your fabric is not stretchy, you have to add up a zipper. And one thing I forgot to say is when you're actually using a stretchy fabric, you have to go ahead and stitch it up with the smallest stitch of your machine, because if you don't do so, by the time you put it on, it's going to break. So you want to avoid that. Now I'll just go ahead and hem this downer part. Like I said, I'll be using my hemming gum to hem the downer part, the whole round of the skirt with the hemming gum. After adding up the waistband, I'm going to zigzag that up. This is the skirt. As you can see, it's quite very beautiful. You just go ahead and pull this over like this. You see, you pull it up and fix it the way you want it to be, on how long you want it to be. And then once you're done doing so, you just go ahead and tie it up, and you are ready to rock your skirts. Any fabric that is stretchy is good for this project. Thank you so much for watching.